return to your seats, buckle up, and prepare for launch.
He struck him out. Max Fried leaves the bases loaded.
The defending world champion Atlanta Braves are sponsored by PCB Coins and Cards, Guthrie's Fit Culture, Panama City Toyota, Brock's Pest Control, and ESPN Northwest Florida. And we apologize for any turbulence you've experienced this season with the Atlanta Braves.
Good Thursday morning. Looks like the moisture is going to stick around for a while. Showers and thunderstorms expected today, tonight, and Friday. We'll go with a blend of sun and clouds, mid to upper 80s during the day, mid to upper 70s at night, and a southwest wind about 10 to 15, water temperature in the Gulf 87 degrees. This weather forecast has been brought to you by KHS and Associates, your source for affordable health insurance. For 104.3 and 102.1 ESPN Northwest Florida, I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
Dear past, present, and future football watchers, you know why we're here. The football season is back! Woo! That means those pregame barbecues with an ice-cold Pepsi? Totally back. Your perfectly placed football-watching corner seat back and comfy as ever. 18 Sundays of touchdown scoring, Hail Mary throwing, ice-cold Pepsi flowing football action. You better believe it's back. And since that's too amazing to miss a single second's worth, Pepsi is officially giving you permission to always put football first. And when we say always, we mean always. Like when your lawn is looking less like a lawn and more like a jungle. If the game's on, then the lawnmower ain't. And those gutters you haven't cleaned, today is not their day. Or maybe those in-laws are back in town. Well, better hope they're football fans because your Sunday is completely booked. Long story short, crack open a Pepsi and don't let anything get between you and your football watching. With love, Pepsi, made for football watching. That's what I like.
Ben and Deb Collins, owners of Bay Guns and Gear, have been in business since 2010, offering new firearms and accessories with a huge selection available for your hunting needs and personal defense. Turn to Bay Guns and Gear. They have the weapon for you. Discount pricing. And if you can't find what you're looking for, they'll special order it for you. Bay Guns and Gear, across from Grease Pro at 3115 Highway 77. Visit their website, baygunsandgear.com.
The Lake Sand Scout Show is coming to the Church at the Beach on September 17th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
It's totally free, and you'll get to see some of the great adventures that are possible if you join Cub Scouts or Boy Scouts.
There will be shooting ranges, horseback rides, educational displays, and more.
Oh, and Cub Scouts and Boy Scouts aren't just for boys anymore. You just have to be at least 5 years old. Join today at beascout.org.
The Beach Care Services dinner is back. The last dinner was in 2019 due to COVID, and the charity has felt the impact. But Beach Care Services is beyond excited for the return of Dinner on the Bay. This fun, family-friendly event features a 3-course dinner, block party, $5,000 cash raffle, and jewelry raffle. Join our community for a night of fun, October 4th from 5 to 9 at the Shrimp Boat Restaurant. Proceeds go to helping our locals in times of need. Tickets available on Eventbrite under Dinner on the Bay.
There's never been a better time to get your new Toyota. And during our national sales event, you'll get 1.9% APR, plus no payments for 90 days on new Toyotas, like the stylish 2022 Camry, the exciting 2022 Corolla, the electrifying 2022 RAV4, and get 1.9% on the 2022 Highlander. Call or visit our website, where you can reserve your new Toyota in about 5 minutes.
For details, visit PanamaCityToyota.com. Offer ends September 6th.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WTOT, W271DM Mariana, Howard FC, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Rise and shine, campers. It's a brand new day.
What a lovely morning.
Good morning, Starshine.
You seem happy this morning.
Good morning, everybody. Thanks for coming in early.
The Coach James Hale Show is live and local. Live from the J. Michaels Studio. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Get past the people, get past the hit me.
Hit me, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida on an absolutely dreary-looking Thursday morning. High school football gets cranked up. There's probably some games tonight. Jeremy, let me know about this a little bit later, but I know there's a big game tomorrow. All right, Monday we had Arnold Day. Tuesday was Rutherford. Wednesday's Bay. Thursday is Mosley Day. We get Coach on the phone. They're heading out to Orlando a little bit earlier today. and we'll be talking to him with everything's going on at Mosley High School. Friday, Bozeman. It's Thursday. That means the two legends are in here. Tommy Santamont, Jeremy Pridgeon. Tommy, how are you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful.
You look mighty fine.
I'm telling you.
And we went to a funeral, a viewing. Yeah. Mackie Owens, a wonderful man, former principal, head of the maintenance department. You saw a lot of friends. You were like a superstar walking in there.
Well, a lot of people I haven't seen in a long time. When you get somebody from the school board, and that's where you work for so long, you know a lot of people. But Mackie was a great friend of mine. We did a lot of work together, a lot of work.
Wonderful man. Yeah, beautiful family, wife,
yep.
2 daughters. And it shocked me. I didn't know he was not doing well.
I didn't know he was sick either. But some of the people there, they said he'd been sick a couple of years, 2 or 3 years. So
some of the lungs, I believe.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it's Thursday. We all know the legendary Jeremy Pridgeon. Jeremy, how you doing, buddy?
Doing well, Coach. Good to be with you this morning. And yeah, it's kind of dreary out there. It's
been, drive careful
all week. So
gotta
slow down a bit.
Careful.
Give yourself a little more time.
How the kids doing? They settling in school?
Oh, we're 2.5 weeks into school. Got one playing middle school volleyball.
Saw that post you had.
She's excited, and got recreational league. Southern Elite Sports is doing volleyball at our church, and they've got a great group of girls signed up. There's still registration ongoing if you're looking for a place for your girl or boy. It's co-ed for the elementary and middle school to play. I know middle schools have selected their teams, so if you didn't get a chance to play and you're looking for somewhere, Southern Elite at First United Methodist Church would be a great place to play this fall.
Isn't it incredible that in Bay County we've had state championship volleyball teams from our high schools. We've had state championship teams from baseball, swimming, soccer, you name it. They had a big. I got Coach coming on, but I do want to later. If I don't get today, we got to get to tomorrow, or at least when Brian gets back here. The divers here in Bay County did a great job.
And I can tell you more about.
Oh, you got something?
No. Out at Mosley the other night, you had Mosley and Sneeze playing. 2 defending state champions out there. Great environment. Right. Mosley playing Niceville tonight. So yeah, it's a lot of good things happening with our high school sports.
Well, speaking of high school sports, we got him on, Coach Wooden. Coach, how you doing this morning?
I could be doing a lot better.
Hey, well, you're getting ready to take a long trip there. Before we get into that, I want to ask you, year 2, do you feel more comfortable? You feel really good about the situation over at Mosley, the direction you're taking the program? Year 1, you come in here, I think the hardest year as a head coach is your first year. You guys knocked it out of the ballpark, had an outstanding year. But how do you feel about this team? And talk about some of the players and everything that's going on for you.
Yeah, this team's got a chance to be really good. I think they got a chance to be really good. I think we check a lot of the boxes. But the message to this team, it's got nothing to do with our talent. It's got to do with our leadership, us coming together and just being a lot mentally tough. I'm a little aggravated right now because I just having to deal with a situation. We're about to make a big trip, go out of town, and we had some guys late for the bus. And those are the types of things, lack of attention to detail, lack of accountability, lack of discipline. Those are going to be the things that can end up being our Achilles heel. So that's been our message to the team. And, we're fighting through those struggles. I imagine like most teams are right now, but that's something that we've definitely got to get fixed.
Hey, Coach, this is Tommy Santamont. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing good.
I can't believe you have somebody like old Clint McCory over there helping you out in football.
Yeah, Coach McCory, he's a great football coach.
Man, I love Clint. He is such a great guy. He's a buddy of mine, and I've known him for a long time. And he's an outstanding coach, as you know, and great with kids. And Delaware Valley, I assume that's in Delaware you're playing? Pennsylvania?
No, sir, they're in Pennsylvania.
Okay, it is. Okay. What do you know anything about them? They're traveling a long ways to play y'all, so they undoubtedly have a good team.
Yes, sir. They're a good football team. They got a good tradition up there. They're a perennial playoff team. They lost in the 3rd round last year, just like we did. They got they got a really good roster. They got some good players. They got a big tight end that looks like Gronkowski. He's got a couple of D1 offers. Wow. Guy that they really try to get the ball to. Mm-hmm. They're from Big Ten country and they play Big Ten football. They use a fullback. They play with 2 tight ends. They're going to try to pound the rock. And set up the play-action pass. So definitely it's going to be a fun matchup. I think it's 2 teams with 2 different styles.
Yep.
We're going to be more spread and try to use our athleticism. And to me, it's going to be a battle of which team can impose their style of football on the other team.
Yeah.
Coach, Jeremy here. I'm just curious, first of the year, you get a lot of these, non-district games, kind of out-of-state matchups that's happening across the Panhandle. How did this game come together, and kind of what's the backstory on this sort of one-off neutral site game for you?
Yeah, this is the backstory of this is, it's something that when I came to Mosley, something that we wanted to do here. My biggest kind of inspiration on this was Coach Harden when he was back at Rutherford. I don't know if you remember when he was there, but they used to play teams from all over the country, and that's something Coach McCory was a part of, and something that we're trying to do at Mosley. We want to build our brand as a football program. Don't get me wrong, we want to be the best here in the Panhandle, but we want to challenge ourselves, every year with somebody that we're not used to playing. Last year we went over to Mobile and played Mobile Christian. This year we're getting an opportunity to play a team out of Pennsylvania. So I think I think it brings recognition to our school and to our brand of football. It provides a college-like experience for all of our players. To be able to travel 8 hours, stay in the hotel, overnight, and playing a big football game. Something that our kids are really excited about, our fans are really excited about, and something that we're excited to be doing as a football program.
Coach, give us a little rundown of your coaching staff. I don't know if you made any changes, anybody new, but let everybody know who your assistant coaches are.
Well, our defensive coordinator is Patrick Miller. Coach Miller played here at Mosley, was a part of the team 40 years ago that had won the last district championship before we did last year. Played at Florida, played in the NFL, brings a ton of experience. Coach McCory on our offensive line. Again, same with teammates with Coach Miller. Back in high school, played at Troy. Coach McCory's been to the state championship 6 different times. Hasn't won it, but has a wealth of knowledge. And both of those guys just are the foundation of our program. They played here at Mosley. It means the world to them. And they, bring a toughness and physicality element to our program every day. The biggest pickup that we got this offseason was Lyle Messer. He had coached with me back at Booker T, and he wasn't able to join us last year, but was able to get over here with us this year. He was the former head coach up at Bozeman, and he's got over 20 years of experience. Again, coached at Pine Forest, went to a couple of state championship games while he was at Pine Forest, knows the game, has a wealth of experience, and, has been a head coach before, and brings a wealth of knowledge to our program.
Coach, Jeremy here, you had the opportunity last week to get a look at, players hitting somebody else, took control of the game against Rutherford quickly and cruised to a pretty easy win, and I know you were able to play a lot of personnel, get folks on the field, get a look at them. Anything that you saw out of that last Friday night that you kind of focus on, want to continue to help with development and use as a springboard into this week now, going into Delaware Valley?
Yeah, I know we kind of took care of Rutherford, but our execution, needed to be a lot cleaner. It definitely did not meet our standard of play last week. I think, defensively, I thought we ran to the ball really well. We still had, some missed tackles. Our front seven on the offensive line, I'd like for us to be, a little bit more physical. We had some guys make some plays on the perimeter. But our biggest thing that we're harping on this week is let's make sure we're cleaning up our execution. And we need to be a lot more physical football team. Because again, we preach on teams that are going to be really good at the end of the year, teams that can run the football and teams that can stop the run. And to me, the only way that you do that is by having a physical mindset every single time that you go out every Friday night.
Hey, Coach, this is Tommy again. First of all, let me just say I saw Clint the other day, and he was talking about you as a head coach, and I know you're a great coach, and I know Mosley is just really glad they got you there at Mosley High School. And as you know, as a head coach, you have a really, really outstanding staff. I've known Patrick and Clint for a long time, and they are great coaches, and I know that's a big part of you being organized and having a great staff. And I wish y'all luck. I know it's going to be a long trip down there. It's going to be probably a headache, one or two coming up, but I hope you have a great game, and I hope y'all get back safe.
I appreciate that.
Coach, give us a little rundown. Let everybody out here know what's going on today. What's the travel plans? Are you going to have a practice down there at the stadium or a walkthrough? Give us a little rundown of what's going to happen today leading up to tomorrow's game.
We're about to get on the bus here in about 15 minutes and head south, and we'll stop, eat lunch in Gainesville, take our time, and then we've got it set up to practice this afternoon at 4 o'clock at UCF. I mean, it's something that we take pride in as a program. Just in my year and a half that I've been here, we've practiced at South Alabama. We've been to FAMU, and then now we're practicing at Central Florida. And we want to give our kids every opportunity to be able to step on a college campus, be in front of college coaches, because so many kids want to play in that environment, and we want to show them what that environment looks like. So, that's what we're doing. Then later tonight, we're taking our kids. We're excited about this. I know the O-linemen are. We're going to eat at Fogo de Chao, the Brazilian steakhouse. It's all-you-can-eat meat, big old salad bar, and it's going to be really good. Hopefully we don't stuff ourselves to where we can't move around the next day, but it's going to be a real treat for those guys. I know they're excited about it. Then Friday, wake up, have a walkthrough, pregame meal, play our game, and then after the game on Friday night, we'll have some pizza for them, and then wake up Saturday, and we're going to Universal for the day Saturday.
Great trip. All right.
Yeah, so it's going to be a big trip. Something that we're real excited about. But like you said, there's a lot of potential distractions for this trip. We've already had one distraction this morning that we've had to work through. But again, they're teenage kids. It's as you know, it's a lot like herding cats. A lot of days, and so again, these are the reason we're doing this now is that we're hoping that these will be experiences that we can draw upon later in the year. And when you've never done things before, you got to go through some growing pains and learn how to act, learn how to do things, and hopefully we can get all these hiccups out of the way now so we don't have to deal with them later in the year.
Well, Coach, thank you so much. I know you're busy. Thanks for coming on. Next week we'll talk to you at 7:15. Good luck down there. Get yourself a win and be safe and get back here safely.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Good luck,
Appreciate
Coach.
you, Coach.
Good luck.
All right. Bye.
All right, let's talk about some of our great people. I was there yesterday at J. Michael's Restaurant, Thomas Drive. Saw Michelle and Cody, Dana's mom and dad there. Bill Thomas's, Coach Thomas's mom and dad were there. I saw a lot of people there yesterday. Wednesday, world famous J. Michael's Spaghetti. Had a great time there. Go try it out. The best seafood, coldest beer, J. Michael's Restaurant, Thomas Drive. We're actually in J. Michael's studios right now, as far as you know. Stevenson Air Conditioning, #1, not even close. Nobody compares to Jason and his crew down there. They do an incredible job. The most honest guy I know, and you want your air conditioning unit to work better, to save yourself some money, you want to get it serviced about every 6 months. Saves you money on electricity. If you got an old one like Tommy, get rid of it, get you a new one. It pays for itself. You hear that, Louise? All right, we'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
It's here. The 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida app version 2.0. Now featuring ultra high fidelity. You'll feel like you're in the game. Plus, more opportunities to win weekly prizes from local businesses when you click it to win it. Download the 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida app today at Google Play or the Apple Store.
Good Thursday morning. Looks like the moisture is going to stick around for a while. Showers and thunderstorms expected today, tonight, and Friday. We'll go with a blend of sun and clouds, mid to upper 80s during the day, mid to upper 70s at night, and a southwest wind about 10 to 15, water temperature in the Gulf 87 degrees. This weather forecast has been brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. For 104.3 and 102.1 ESPN Northwest Florida, I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
We know that juicy, cheesy, grilled to perfection burger sounds amazing, but it does sound like something is missing. Pepsi, baby. The yin to this burger's yang. Burgers and Pepsi go together like burgers and Pepsi. This perfect blending of flavors makes every bite of lettuce, every sesame seed on the bun, and every sip of that crisp, refreshing, ice-cold cola a journey to Foodtopia. Burgers, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
Is that the sound of an ooey gooey, cheesy, crunchy slice of P-I-Z-Z-A? Obviously. But as good as that sounds, we think it can get even better. Oh yeah, that's the sound of a freshly opened fizz-filled Pepsi. The only thing that can take this flavor medley of crunchy dough, mouth-watering cheese, and savory sauce to the next level. How about another bite? Pepsi and pizza sound like a match made in heaven and taste even better. Pizza, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
Now, your home for Mosley Dolphin football. Listen to live play-by-play all season long. Now back to the J. Michaels studio. It's the Coach James Hale Show right here. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Mosley traveled all the way down there. That's a great experience for those players.
Yeah, I mean, what coach was telling us, they're gonna have a lot, especially going to that steakhouse where. If that was me,
the food's more important than anything else.
Anybody call that steakhouse to tell them they're coming?
Yeah, might put them to sleep at night. It's probably good doing that, but going to Universal and all that, that's an expensive trip. But those kids ought to appreciate what they're getting.
Well, some of them ought to be one of the best things that ever happened. You know, going to Universal, that's pretty cool now.
I know when my wife would take kids down to Orlando for FFA, and she had some kids that's never even been out of Bay County.
Crazy.
Never been out.
I was going with something with this, and I lost my train of thought. Forgive me.
Well, you know, I like what Coach just said. He says the kids are going out, and you're about teaching manners to kids when they go out there eating in restaurants and things like that. A nice restaurant. You can't go in there and start throwing food around and jumping around, but I think that's an important part of it. The kids getting used to doing the right thing.
You know, I just was thinking about our first year we had to travel to Naples because all right, Jeremy, what kind of man hires you and says you're going to play JV for 2 years, and then after you've been there for about 6 weeks, 8 weeks, he calls it, hey, y'all playing the varsity schedule? I said, what?
Yeah.
I said, we're not having any seniors. He goes, yeah, you are. Then he goes, you better go make you a schedule. I said, everybody has a schedule. We traveled all over the state. I mean, we played private schools, public schools.
Had to get exposure. Had to get the name out there.
But I will say you picked some good teams. I mean, you really researched some good teams.
Let me tell you something. We traveled down to Naples, and we had some of our boosters. Neil Dunn, a bunch of those guys flew down there the day of the game, flew back. I mean, they were going, y'all got fans that fly to the game. But we played down there in Naples. They had a good situation down there.
Coach, they still talk about Arnold rolling in with more cheerleaders than we all had football players when y'all went over there.
Yeah, let me tell you something. That Weewall trip, I'll never forget that Alex Dunn and Thomas Ray were on the radio show, running their mouths about Weewall. Weewall players were calling in. And we had just got back from Naples, that traveling. I remember going on the bus over there as soon as we left Arnold and looking back, and they were already asleep. I said, I don't know about this. But they looked tired, and I'm making excuses, by the way. We go over there, and Weewall was undefeated, and they put us on us. They put it on us.
Yeah, that's still talked about. You know, small town ball, and of course, the lights.
That was packed out though. Were you there that night?
No, I wasn't in the area, but
we were 1A. They were 1A2, I think. Yeah, it was unbelievable.
Yeah,
they were ready to play, but anyway, we did. We went down there on a Friday. We actually played them on a Saturday. We went down on a Friday, had a pregame meal, stopped on the way halfway down there, and then we took them to a movie down in Naples. This real nice mall they have down. Naples is a great city, beautiful place, per capita one of the richest cities in the United States. Had a wonderful time. That was a great experience for those kids, and luckily got a win and got back, drove all the way back after the game. Played a day game. We didn't play a night game. We had a day game, and it was hot, really hot down there in South Florida at that time of year. And I think it was kind of the end of the year too. But anyway, it just brought back some memories. Hey, I want to ask you guys something. You know how we have a hard time now getting teachers? There's shortage all over the country, right?
Yep.
There's coaches shortage right now. You're like, some of the coaching staffs here are really good. I know Arnold's got a really good staff. Bay, Rutherford, everybody's got put together a pretty good staff. Not all of them are teachers anymore. So I'm just curious, if we use it, how much money did Biden just forgive the student loans, the people that, the wealthy people that now the people that never went to college have to pay it back?
10,000, possibly 20.
If you're talking Pell Grant, it's 20,000.
Yeah, 43 million people were helped. 370 million were screwed over because we're paying it back. $2,000 every American in the country has to pay us back. They're buying votes, but what I'm getting at, what if they use that money for raises for teachers and hiring make it worthwhile where these teachers would want to come and teach?
Or security.
Or security is something like, anyway, I don't get it. I just hate this. It was something else. Oh, this is my update on the attack from animals that are coming at Putin's fault. Do you know? No, this is another one.
This was all over with.
No, I was almost done with it, and I saw one more. I said, I got to get it one more time because we got football starting. But there was a Florida postal worker. Did you hear about this?
Yeah.
Did you hear about this?
Yeah.
All right, her vehicle she was in broke down. She was attacked and killed by 5 dogs, and I believe it's in Putnam County, Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right? Melrose, Florida, something like that. She was 61 years old, out doing her job, not doing anything. And you know the dogs, what happened? The dogs got up under the fence. They were fenced in, and the owner thought they were okay. I think they had some complaints about these dogs before. They did not give the breed of the dogs. I think much of them were mutts, but I got a feeling of what some of them were.
I know.
So can you imagine the poor lady, 61,
dogs
5
coming
of them,
at you.
big
Yeah.
dogs,
Yeah.
5 of them.
I don't even care if they're chihuahuas. I don't want 5 of them chewing on my ankles.
Well, they went out there. One guy they were shooting in the air. They shot in the ground. I think finally one of them. I don't think they one of them actually. I think he missed the dog. But that and the owner and other people tried to get him off her. It was too late. The owner finally got him back into the pen. Too late. Got her to the hospital. She was gone. So anyway.
Why have you got 6 dogs?
Why 5? There were 5 of them.
Why you have 5 dogs?
5 big. Anyway, crazy. Absolutely crazy. All right. I want to ask both of you real quickly. This is way too early. We got our picks. We start our picks today, and Jeremy is being like Glenn Manley. He is going out there studying games. Tommy, you and I have no idea the names of these schools. So, anyway, I think it's going to be hard for me to win this year. You know, I've won it every year.
Mm-hmm. Every year.
Every year I've won it.
Kind of like the North Korean leader hit a hole-in-one on every golf hole.
Now, you sound like Rob Mulvey at Bay Point. He goes, yeah, I think he calls and changes his picks at halftime. No, I have not. Okay, that's false information. But I want to ask you guys real quick, off the top, what's going to happen. I'll give mine first, and I'll have to do it again tomorrow because I'm going to ask those guys. Here's what's going to happen in college football. These are the 4 teams that are going to make the playoffs. Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State, and Clemson. Clemson's going to get in there. They got an elite defense. Their quarterback I don't think is that great. But I think defensively, I think their schedule sets up pretty nicely compared to Alabama and Ohio State.
Who's your team on the outside looking in? That
I've got several of them. Maybe a Southern Cal. Maybe I got it written down somewhere. I got to go back and look.
So your Bearcats don't make it this year.
No, well, I will say this: Houston. I think Houston's going to be the love this year. They beat Auburn in the bowl game. They were 11-2. I think they're set up to be the new Central Florida, the new Cincinnati. I do think Cincinnati's going to be pretty good again this year, but Houston's set up where they could go undefeated, and that'd be the one they all fall in love with.
So Big 12, Pac-12 shutout in your scenario.
Pretty much so. If any of them goes undefeated, I just think Oklahoma, they lost a lot of players. They lost their coaching staff, brand new coach. Who knows? That would be one that's been there, done it, but I'm not sure about that. People are talking about Texas A&M. I'm not buying into that yet.
Nope.
Other teams in the SEC, not sure. Sometimes it's like LSU came out of nowhere. But let me get back. I got Ohio State beating Alabama, winning the national championship. And the reason I say that, I just watched the history of the injuries Alabama has every year. Last year opened the season up with, people don't realize they opened the season up, lost a potential All-American at the other outside linebacker. He doesn't go down. How do you block Will Anderson? You got 2 almost with the same ability. If they can stay healthy, I would pick Bama to come number 1. But I don't think they will. Just because last 3 or 4 years they haven't. Ohio State's hungry. They got the best offense in college football. Defense, they got a new defense coordinator. They got players over there. They hadn't had a good scheme on the defense side of the ball the last couple of years. I got Clemson in because their schedule's the easiest path. And you look at Georgia's schedule. Georgia's schedule set up maybe easier than Clemson's. The only reason I say it's not easier because they're in the SEC.
I don't see Georgia losing a game.
I don't either.
But, you know, if you
A lot of people have them losing to Tennessee.
I'm not buying Tennessee yet. But if Alabama drops a game, you know, you've got a scenario like last year where Alabama has to beat Georgia. If you come into the SEC game and both teams have a loss, I don't know that you get two in. Because somebody will come out of Atlanta with a second loss.
Yeah.
So they both have to run the table, or one has to be undefeated to get two teams in the
I do
four.
believe Georgia was undefeated when Bama beat them. That's true. They were number one in the country also. I kind of agree with you. I think they both – I don't know. If Georgia – it plays – but that – you're right. But it plays out, too, what happens else around the country.
Yeah.
You know, and where they lose, when they lose, stuff like that. You know, going into Oxford's not going to be an easy game. Going to Knoxville, I don't think it's going to be an easy game. So, who are your top four? Who do you got winning it all?
I have Alabama in. I do think that Saban seems to be much more relaxed about this ball team.
Yeah.
He likes them. If the injury bug can stay away, you'll be okay. I think Georgia does get in. You really could have an undefeated SEC game like you had years ago with Alabama and Florida playing a de facto semifinal when Alabama went on to play Texas.
I think we're going to.
Then Ohio State coming out of the Big Ten, you're not going to have that market not represented. Even a one-loss Ohio State gets in. I think for the fourth team, it could be Clemson. They've got the road trip to Notre Dame, which could knock them out.
And that's another one that could get in.
I like the possibility of Southern Cal. My dark horse in this is Baylor.
Yeah, good
out of
pick.
the Big 12.
Good pick. I agree.
They could win the Big 12. Tough nose, Dave Aranda.
Defense is awesome.
Yep. So,
yeah, I agree with it. A lot easier path than these other schools.
A lot easier path.
That's a great pick. That's really good. I'm with you. That's my dark horse too.
That's my dark horse.
Who you got, Tommy?
Well, I would have never thought you'd have picked those four schools. You're kind of getting tired of that's what it's going to be. And I agree. I think it'll come down to Ohio State and Alabama, but I'm picking Alabama to win.
You got Alabama. Jeremy, you got Bama or you got Ohio State?
I like the Crimson Tide. You know, this is a bounce back year. He's using the term rebuilding year last year. So kind of beware, you know, if you're on the other side of the ball.
Well, here's the deal. Every time Saban's had both coordinators come back, they've won a national championship.
2015, 2000.
Yeah, and after losing a year before, they usually come back and win it. But here's the other drawback. Going to California, last time they went out there, California, number one ranked team in the country, nobody thought they'd lose. They got spanked by Clemson. So I'm not sure. I just think Ohio State is their year if they got a good defense.
Yep, that's the only thing.
You know, you got to look at the number one thing is injuries and schedule. It's tough. When we get back, I do want to put up one other situation where the SEC could possibly get 3 teams in. And I want to see what Jeremy and Tommy think about that. I don't know. They do.
Tommy seems excited already.
I'm telling you, there is truly a way it could happen. But again, Jeremy's like you point out, what happens throughout college football. All right, let's talk about some of our great, man, let's go. Every time y'all guys are in here, it goes by quickly, it goes by smoothly, it goes by really well. I think it's because John, though. I don't think it's y'all guys. South Oak Title and Closing. You talk about going smooth. You talk about no surprises. All the deals Tommy does, all this real estate he owns throughout Northwest Florida and, heck, throughout the Southeast. Chuck Tucker, South Oak Title and Closing. You demand the best. No surprises. It's done quickly. Well, I won't say it's done quickly. It's done the right way always. There's never a surprise at closing. Everything goes smoothly because they are the best. Chuck Tucker's the best. He's got the best employees. Incredible job, South Oak Title and Closing. Don't forget about Buffalo Rock. Tommy, talk about Buffalo Rock, some of the great things they've done throughout your 23 years as Bay County's legendary athletic director.
Well, early on, I met the 2 important people, Johnny Penny and Floyd Owens. Floyd being the general manager and Johnny Penny being, but anyway, they are just really, really good people. And Johnny Penny especially would come by and always, those guys didn't know how to say no. They did everything for us, and schools were very appreciative of all the stuff that they did for athletics there, and the whole community.
Support Buffalo Rock. They've done a great job supporting us. Hey, tomorrow night on the sidelines will be a legendary doctor, Dr. Chad Mitchell, 23 years on Bay County sidelines, taking care of elite athletes. If you get injured, you don't have to be an elite athlete. He takes care of every one of us. Go see Dr. Chad Mitchell. Southern Orthopedic does an incredible job. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida, the Paul Feinbaum Show.
You the man,
Hey,
brother.
Larry, quick
And
question
you-
here. Don't take this too personally, but how many tonight have you had?
I just had 7. I can't drink too many, Paul.
You've had 7 Bud Lights since when?
5:30, something like about an hour ago.
It's only 5:41 right now in Birmingham, so you've had 7 in the last 10 minutes?
The Paul Feinbaum Show, weekdays 6 to 10 on 102.1 and 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hello, this is Rick Vossen with RV of Panama City, your local Stormore portable building dealer. We are located on 2241 East Baldwin Road, Panama City. Shopping for an 8-foot to 16-foot in width or 10-foot to 60-foot in length. Cabin, garage, portable building, whatever the needs are. Remember, at Stormore, we can insulate our buildings. We can put electric on, thermal windows, transom dormers. There's so much we can do. Stormore Portable Buildings, 2241 East Baldwin Road.
It's the cooling season, and time to call Steverson Air Conditioning for your preventative maintenance to keep your air conditioning system operating at full capacity. Steverson Air Conditioning has preventative maintenance programs, and they service all makes and models. Steverson Air Conditioning offers air duct cleaning. Steverson Air Conditioning has after-hours service and free estimates on a system change-out or duct cleaning. Call them at 248-1109.
And here we go. The #1 SEC call-in show is now twice as big. The Paul Feinbaum Show. Weekday evening 6 to 10. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. All right, Jeremy Tommy, am I absolutely crazy? If things play out just perfect, Ohio State loses a game, Clemson loses 1 or 2 games, Southern Cal goes 11-1. No, they go 10-2. But this is what happens in the SEC. Arkansas goes 10-2 regular season, but they beat Alabama. And they go 7-1 in the SEC, 7-1 in the SEC West, and they win the West. Alabama goes 11-1, okay, 11-1, and they don't go to the SEC championship. They sit at home. They lose to Arkansas at Arkansas by 1 point, okay. Georgia only loses 1 game. They lose to Kentucky by 2 points, whatever. One it doesn't matter. 1 point. Kentucky is SEC East champions, okay? They can have 1 loss or no, it doesn't matter. They go in, they beat Arkansas for the SEC championship, okay? You got Georgia, defending national champs, 11-1. You got Alabama, 11-1. You got the SEC champ, Kentucky, 12-1. You got Ohio State, they're 12-1. You got Clemson with 2 losses. You got Southern Cal with 2 losses. You got Oklahoma with 2 or 3 losses. There's nobody else out there. Could the SEC, would they let that happen? Would they let 3 SEC schools into play with Ohio State?
No, they'd still find a way to get Notre Dame in.
Well, you're probably right about that.
What I would say, that selection committee better have good security.
Yeah.
Because I hate to even have to think
But
about
you
that.
think
It's
about
a doomsday scenario for the selection committee.
Yeah, but they really, truly, something crazy. It won't, but something could happen like that. Would they ever, if it did, and you know how Notre Dame's got 2 losses. How could you keep Alabama and Georgia out with only 1 loss?
With 1 loss, yeah. It's going to be incredibly difficult.
And you'd have to put Kentucky in there with 1 loss. An SEC champion, you'd have to.
The SEC champion's going to be in.
Yeah.
You know, whoever that person is.
And I think the Big Ten champion's going to be in.
Yeah. Those are almost automatic qualifiers.
Those are the 2 best conferences in football, toughest.
What if Clemson's undefeated?
Oh, then we'll only get 2 in. If that's true, good point. If Clemson's only undefeated, they're in. Ohio State's in. The other two would probably be this. It'd be, who would it be? I would think it'd be Alabama. They started the season at number 1. I think they'd get in over Georgia.
Probably so. You know, the only other scenario is you don't take the conference champion, and then oh my gosh,
Yeah. Yeah.
then you've got a whole different set of issues.
Yeah. All right. Head football coaches. What do you think about this? Head football coaches that have to win, and don't answer too quickly. We all know. I do agree with this one. Scott Frost's record is terrible. It's been a big flop since he's been in Nebraska,
He misses Orlando.
Yeah, he should have never left. But you know, he was. I don't know if you saw this. He was bragging. Well, not bragging. But he made some comments publicly about every day at practice, 15 or 20 vomits. Talking about his offensive lineman. Mm-hmm. Chad Mitchell and I hear Money talking about that. We're going like, why would you say that? I think I'd fire my strength and conditioning coach if that was going on this time of year. I think he's got to win the big game this week, Northwestern. He's got to have a winning record to keep his job. Stark, we all agree he's got to win. Yeah. All right, the next one is Texas, Coach Stark at Texas. I think if he goes 5-7, Urban Meyer's sitting out there right now too. I don't know if he gets year 3 with the big money at Texas. Am I wrong or right? If it collapses, if they get beat pretty, right now at Texas they have 2 freshman offensive linemen are going to start. One just got injured. You mean to tell me, and one of them's up for a freshman All-American left tackle or offensive tackle. You're telling me a freshman offensive tackle can block Will Anderson all night?
No.
No way. So, and we know how many captains they are in that ship over there in the state of Texas. There's a lot of captains, not a lot of mates, that big money over there. I kind of leaning towards if he has a flop, he could be out of the door.
He could, especially at Texas.
I think he gets one more regardless. It was a disaster that he walked into. So I'll give him one more mulligan.
Okay.
He's got a good pedigree. That's what's going for him, being in Alabama.
Saban. Yeah.
Being with Saban. So that's going to help him.
All right, the last one I want to talk about today, Auburn's head football coach, Brian Harsin. I'm not so sure, guys, and the reason I say not so sure, he's got a lawsuit right now to go after those people at Auburn, the big money people that try to destroy him in that program, okay? Will they want to pull the trigger knowing that it could come back on them? I think he's a good coach. I think they're going to be better than what people think. The problem with Auburn, their schedule, so it's the hardest schedule. Them in Florida have the toughest schedule in college football. But I think he's going to get year 3 regardless, unless it's like a 3-9 or something like that. If it's 5-7, 6-7, I think he'll be back. Am I crazy?
If he wins the games he's supposed to win, doesn't lose the games he's supposed to lose, he's going to be just fine. But if Missouri were to come in and get him, or
Mississippi State,
you have one of those type of situations, you really almost have for calls at that point, regardless of the circumstance.
Do you think am I crazy to think that he's got a chance to come after them legally, what they did? I mean, they really sabotaged him.
Oh, there's grounds, I mean.
I just think you're probably right. I know how it is at Alabama, Auburn. You got to win. I get all that. But the people that have the power to pull the trigger are the ones that he could go after. So I don't know. What do you think, Tommy?
Well, I read the other day, Harsin, if he has a losing season, and Mark Stoops wins 10 games, he might slip in there.
I saw that.
If Mark Stoops leaves Kentucky, I think he's crazy.
Yeah, I'd say you're right.
He's got him made there.
Making good money.
Yeah. And they always say it's a basketball school, which it is, but as long as he's winning, he's in good shape.
Well, the Auburn schedule, and you mentioned it, they really could be 5-0 at the end of September.
They could.
Yeah.
The schedule is just backloaded. Mm-hmm. And so you come out of the gate, you're undefeated, big win over Penn State, hope springs eternal, everybody's in the running for Heisman, we're going to the playoffs. I mean, the euphoria that hits that point.
Right.
And then you hit LSU, Georgia, at Ole Miss, Arkansas,
look at that,
at Mississippi State, Texas A&M, a breather against Western Kentucky, and then at Alabama.
That's what I'm saying.
They could win 3 of those games, really. If
yeah.
They get 5-0, they could beat 3 of those teams.
But that 5-0 euphoria is going to be out the door. And
they don't have a lot of depth, and when you got to play that week in, week out, like you're talking about. That's the physical football teams right there.
Every week.
That's brutal, man. You better.
Even Big Red is not a gimme game.
Yeah.
I mean, Western Kentucky's got good ball players. They'll win it, but still be physical.
And this thing, they were talking about these NIL deals that these Nebraska, Texas. I didn't really look into Auburn. Nebraska, they still got big alumni. They got money, but still, it's changed. The world has changed. They're in the Big Ten now. Their number one player, I think, that has one of the best deals. That Crawford kid, their best receiver. You know what his NIL deal was? They got him selling air conditionings. Stevenson Air Conditioning. You need to hire this guy. We need to get him down here. Stevenson Air Conditioning. Texas running back Robinson, which is a great football player. They think he's got a chance to win the Heisman. I don't think he's better than what we got in Tuscaloosa. This Gibbs kid that we got from Georgia Tech.
Yep.
But he's got his own mustard. I guess he's selling mustard or something. Anyway, it's crazy. And again, Auburn. I'm not sure. Have you heard anything about Auburn NIL deals? I haven't really heard much about their NIL deals. Have you?
I have not heard much.
I mean, like a big one.
Yeah.
I haven't either.
I'd expect Yellowwood to be in there at some point.
You would think so. No doubt about that. All right, we got time. We got time to do anything else? All right, good. All right, here we go. We just got through talking about the picks. Your guys picked the national championship, the same two teams. The question next is, outside of Alabama, Ohio State, Georgia, Clemson, Notre Dame, Oklahoma, maybe who else is left that could win a national championship? I keep talking about Southern Cal with 13 all-star football players walking in there, playing a pretty easy schedule. I got them. I don't see Oregon doing it because of the brand-new coach year one. They got Bo Nix as the quarterback. But, Jeremy, who else you see that could win a national championship besides Alabama, Ohio State, Georgia, Clemson, Notre Dame, or Oklahoma? Is there anybody else out there?
Yep. The only one, I'll go back to my dark horse, is Baylor because they play defense. And Aranda has been there. He was at LSU for a while. They had success. He's quietly building a program. The schedule is a Big 12 schedule. They'll move through it, and you give him time to scheme you for one ball game, he'll come up with it. So,
Tommy?
Well, I don't think that we won't have to worry about that myself.
Yeah, that's what
those four teams we named, they're going to be hard to keep out. Especially, I think it's going to end up Alabama, Ohio State. I really do. And,
that would be pretty cool if they both can get there because they're 1-2 right now. SEC, Big Ten. What did you guys think about? Well, we got to take a break. We'll come back and talk more about this. All right, we get back. We're going to have Tommy Cinema talk about FSU. They open up this Saturday with they got Surfside Jinx. Who they playing?
Mowat, I think.
Mowat. They got Mowat this week at Tommy Oliver. I think it's Tommy Oliver. No, they're getting a warm-up game, and then the big one next week. And, Jeremy, I'll tell you what, LSU's had some problems off the field. They've had some problems with some discipline with the players. Not sure how the buy-in's going in over there, but they still got elite players. So I go back and forth who to pick on this football game. Thankfully, we got another week before we decide.
And we got to look at the Knowles first.
Yeah, that's true. All right, let's talk about some of our wonderful people. We want to thank all of our great sponsors. Bay Point Golf, love Ryan Moe. He does an incredible job. He'll be in here tomorrow. You love golf. There's only one place you can go. That is Bay Point. They've got other things going on at Club 72. You can go watch college football games there, NFL, you name it. Great place to go. We had bingo the other Tuesday night. They had a wonderful time. And also, I'm so excited that we have That Cajun Place is back. You know, in the summertime, if you're a local guy, you got to sit there and wait at least an hour to get in. Everybody's gone, thank goodness. Now we can get in there. And they're going to reward us 75-cent wings. You believe that, Tommy? 75% wings. You can't get that anywhere. They're taking a loss on this. Now, they got drink specials, everything else. What we want you to do, get in there about 11 o'clock is the best time to get there. Well, come in whenever you want because the game's going on all day long. But what you want to do is wear one of your T-shirts. If you're an Alabama fan, Georgia, Auburn, Florida, Florida State, LSU, whatever, Tennessee, Kentucky, wear your shirt. Show us who you're for. We made friends with some Oklahoma women in there. Husband and women came in there, and they had that Oklahoma shirt on, and they happened to lose that one day, and we were giving them a hard time. But they're good people. So get out there, That Cajun Place. Jan and Trudy, Rick, they do such a wonderful job down there. 75-cent wings. I can't believe it. Now, if you love barbecue, Rudy's Barbecue on Bat Beach Road is incredible. Jeremy, is that the best turkey you ever had anywhere?
It is delicious.
Do you get that every time?
I'm pretty much, yeah. If I go to a restaurant, kind of locked in on what I want.
I'm the same way. Do you get the sandwich or do you get the plate?
No, I get the plate.
I usually get the sandwich, but Tommy, I know you've used them before. You used them catering during Thanksgiving, Christmas. Y'all were really pleased.
Yeah. Matter of fact, we were going to go yesterday, but the person we had to pick up had to be back at their home, so we couldn't go. But I planned on stopping by there yesterday.
Yeah, Ethan Boyd does a great job there. All right, we get back. FSU, Rocky Mountain News, Tommy Santamont, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
For 5 years, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida has been the undisputed
And still undefeated.
leader for sports on the Panhandle, with engaging sports talk from national and local hosts, play-by-play with the Atlanta Braves, the Auburn Tigers, college football in the NFL. Plus, we're 850 strong with feeding families for the holidays at Thanksgiving and Christmas. Thanks for 5 years of broadcasting history from ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good Thursday morning. Looks like the moisture is going to stick around for a while. Showers and thunderstorms expected today, tonight, and Friday. We'll go with a blend of sun and clouds, mid to upper 80s during the day, mid to upper 70s at night, and a southwest wind about 10 to 15, water temperature in the Gulf 87 degrees. This weather forecast has been brought to you by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. For 104.3 and 102.1 ESPN Northwest Florida, I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
Los Rancheros has been doing it right for 20 years. Los Rancheros brings a top-shelf dining experience to you with the opening of their beautiful new building. Watch all college and pro games on Los Rancheros' 14 large-screen TVs, with great drink specials daily from 2 to 5, and during all the games. Los Rancheros, the place for live sports and great food on 23rd Street between Jenks and Harrison.
Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle, this is Tim.
Do y'all sell bait?
Yes, we seasonally stock live shrimp, live bull minnows, live sand fleas, live fiddler crabs, earthworms, night crawlers, crickets. We also stock frozen shrimp, sand fleas, mullets, squid, pre-rigged ballyhoo, bonita, stingray, cigar minnows, Boston mackerel, Spanish mackerel, and a few other miscellaneous baits. It's worth the drive to buy premium locally sourced bait from Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle, located directly off Highway 98 on the west end of Panama City Beach.
Broadcasting live from the J. Michaels Studios.
The best part of waking up is
The Coach James Hale Show. Powered by Pepsi. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back to FSU Update, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. We want to thank newbies for what you do in the community, especially John and Charlotte, the owners over there. They do an incredible job. Appreciate everything they give back to the community, especially Panama City Beach, the fire department, Humane Society, every great things they do. Wonderful people. Love John. Great football player. John McVay is a great football player at Miami. Played in the NFL. Unbelievable guy. But he married a FSU Seminole in Charlotte. Gorgeous lady. And they go to all the games. I think John now is a Seminole fan. But I know when they play Miami, I know who he's pulling for, and I'm sure they'll be in New Orleans for this big football game. I imagine they'll be over there for week 1. Tommy, all the people here in Bay County are pumped up about the LSU game, but we got to get through one game before we get to New Orleans. What do you got for us today on FSU?
You remember Jacksonville State?
Yes.
Well, everybody's saying that it's funny how when you look at those war champ guys in the area, well, it'll be 70 points at halftime, or the game will be over at halftime, and everybody will be playing the same. Well, I don't know about that now after I've been reading a little bit about Duquesne. The Duquesne Dukes, they were 7-3 last year, and they got a lot of kids coming back from that team. And some of the players are saying they're coming to Tallahassee to shock the world. So I personally don't think it's going it's a 37.5% spread. And I don't know, that's a lot of points. And first game, And also FSU is missing Stephen Dix, their linebacker's out for the year.
Wow.
Caden Lyles, their center's out for the year. C.J. Campbell, their running back, little running back from Bay High School's out for the year. And Ja'Kai Douglas, their real good receiver and running back, is out for this game. Maurice Smith, their starting center, is out for this game.
So the third-team center starting?
They got 5 kids already out.
Wow.
So I hope that's not what's going to be in the future for FSU. Everybody's starting to get hurt. But and still, I mean, the good thing about FSU this year, they've got some depth, especially on the offensive line where they've never had, and the linebackers. Some of their weak areas like linebacking and offensive line, they've really through the transfer portal, they've gotten a lot of kids to come in and help out. And you always cross in your hands that fingers, whatever you want to cross, that Jordan Travis doesn't get hurt. You know, he's been hurt. The Rodemeyer kid is done real well, and they're looking for him to come in and relieve Jordan if something were to happen. But if Jordan goes out, FSU is going to be in big trouble because he is a star guy to run the offense, and he's been there long enough and he knows what's going on. But I really think, and this game will start at 4 o'clock our time in Tallahassee, and they're expecting a large crowd there. So Duquesne is not used to coming into stadiums. Their stadium's like 4,000.
Wow.
It's not very big at all.
Did they say how much money they're making?
Over $1 million.
Wow.
But
they'll run their athletic department for a couple of years.
yeah, but they're not a real big school. They're just a little Catholic school, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, I think they're from. And it's going to be interesting to see how FSU does. And what do you think as a coach? Are you thinking they're putting all this effort into Duquesne, or are they looking ahead to LSU?
Well,
probably a little bit of both.
I think a little bit of both. You got to prepare for who you're playing.
Yeah.
But we all know what's down the road.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's going to be an interesting game. From all the things I've heard Coach Norville talk about and the players themselves, they say they are a lot better prepared this year as opposed to last year. And whether they'll let a Jacksonville State deal happen again, I don't think so, but you never know. The good thing is played in Tallahassee, and this team is not supposed to win. I mean, when you're 37-point favorite, I don't know if I'd. What do you think? Would you take the points? Or how would you do with that?
I think Florida State covers.
You think so?
Yeah, I do.
Well, and getting back to Duquesne and their a lot of players.
If they're healthy through the game, yeah.
Yeah, well,
quarterback goes down, that's a different story.
Yeah, their Duquesne on defense runs a 3-4, and the 3 guys are 300-pounders. They big kids on the front.
Right.
But their linebackers, the outside linebackers. Listen to this: outside linebackers got a lot of coverage on receivers.
Right.
One is 230 pounds. The other one's 240 pounds. So, where they can cover FSU, I don't think they can.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope if they're that fast, I think they like to blitz a lot and come bring them in there. But I think Jordan Travis is experienced enough to know that. And
did they say how big the inside guys are?
over 300 pounds.
No, linebackers.
Oh, linebackers, the inside, no, they're not real big.
Yeah.
And the thing about, when you're playing teams like this, you look at their height. Most of these kids are short too.
Right.
And they're not real big on the inside, like 180, 190, something like that. But short kids.
But it's like you talked about earlier, Jacksonville State. If they're motivated and ready to play, week 1 you would think they'd be ready to go. I know we got LSU week 2, but I think they're going to be ready to play. Yeah. First game, if they're pumped up, ready to go, I think they cover.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be an interesting game to see it. And I almost went over there, but then it's on ACC Network, by the way.
So you're not going to support FSU?
I'm not going to make it over there.
What kind of fan is that?
I don't know. I'll be over there. I'll probably go for the Boston College game. That's coming up. So anyway, FSU hopefully is going to kick it off the right way. And what do you think if they win 60 something to 10 or 12?
I'd feel pretty good. I'd feel
you'd-
pretty good, yeah. Play a lot of people, get the starters off the field as fast as you can, knowing you got LSU the next week. Jeremy, what do you think? Do you think they cover the spread?
I think they're going to go ahead and try to show out and get some momentum going. And, FSU covered the spread quite often in their day. Anything that looks like a struggle, you're already going to have the doubters coming out. So they'll go for broke.
Let me ask you this, Tommy. How many years? Year 3, right? 3. It's time. You heard what the president of the university came out and said? We're going to be competitive. We're going to do everything we can to be competitive. Right. They know that the Big Ten's looking at them. The SEC's looking at them. The big money, heck, they would probably double what they're making now if they go to the Big Ten. Right. SEC, they'll make a lot of money. I'm telling you, and 3 guys out there that I think they'll look at, and you'll probably think I'm crazy. I would go Dion. He can recruit. He's got the name. It's all about recruiting, getting great players there. He can hire a good staff.
Oh, yeah.
He's a good coach. I think he knows what he's doing. I think he'd be an outstanding. But the other 2, I think, Stoops at Kentucky, which they didn't even look at last time. I think they would this time. And the other one, why would you not look at Urban? I know he coached at Florida, but do you want to win? You don't tell me Urban Myers could win at Florida State.
Yeah, but I don't know if Urban Meyer would come to FSU. I don't think he would.
You don't?
Mm-mm. But I think you're right. I think Dion would be the one they're going to get. But I just don't. I think Noah's going to be there for a while. I just can't see him continue to lose. I like all the things he's doing. He's a great recruiter, real good around kids. Kids love him. I mean, they absolutely love him. And I mean, they've got a lot of, they've got a lot of 4 and 5 stars really interested in him. But you're recruiting against Alabama, Georgia, and all the other big boys. But Norville has done an outstanding job. He's just a hands-on coach. He's not sitting up in the tower and looking on the sideline. He's right in the middle of all of them.
He goes 6-6. You think he's got his job?
Would be real close. Now the president has already said they're going to be very aggressive in going into some other league. But Mike Alford, their athletic director, they've got everything in place to get back to an elite team. And they got an outstanding athletic director. I mean, he is really, really.
He just fired the baseball coach. So
oh yeah. And the president, they want to win. So everything's in place to get FSU back to what they need to be.
Jeremy, what do you think? If he doesn't get it done this year, is he out the door?
I think it's still a little too early. Dion's hot commodity. Obviously, that would create quite a bit of a buzz. But 2 years and out is near impossible in terms of building a program, creating a culture, and this "what have you done for me lately?" You got to have some time to be able to turn the ship. And like Texas with Sark, which was just a disaster when he walked into it. Things were pretty bad in Tallahassee when Norville walked in.
All right, let's talk about some of our great people we got back. We got Jeremy. He's got the Alabama update today, brought to you by Stevenson Air Conditioning. Nobody does a better job than Jason, no doubt about that. But we want to thank Newbies, 3 great locations. Newbie 2 on the curve to watch all sporting events, NFL games, college football. It's been remodeled. It's beautiful in there. Go try it out. Get to Newbies. Some we sent you in there. They do a great job, John and Charlotte, no doubt about that. Also, Blue Sky Express Car Wash on Bat Beach Road. You want your vehicle, car, truck look brand new, go try it one time. You'll be doing it every time. I'm telling you, they do an incredible job there. El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill, right across the Navy base on Thomas Drive, the newest and best Mexican restaurant, heck, in the Panhandle. It's incredible. Go try it out. Dave does a great job down there. Happy hour 4 to 7. You might be watching football and eating good Mexican food. There's nobody's place better than that. Dr. Ward, 1 in 5 developing skin cancer. If it doesn't look right, feel right, please go see Dr. Ward. Do not put it off. If you're listening right now, there's an office near you. Max Fit Sports Nutrition, Jason Kovaleski does an incredible job there. You want to look better, feel better, go visit him. If you want to fight off this virus, go visit him. He'll be here tomorrow. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
There are a lot of other ways to illustrate whether or not a person is a man of principle and character than asking, would he help dispose of a body for me? The mere fact that entered your mind in this discussion is, to say the least, disturbing.
Greeny, weekdays 2 to 4, ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good Thursday morning. Looks like the moisture is going to stick around for a while. Showers and thunderstorms expected today, tonight, and Friday. We'll go with a blend of sun and clouds, mid to upper 80s during the day, mid to upper 70s at night, and a southwest wind about 10 to 15. Water temperature in the Gulf, 87 degrees. This weather forecast has been brought to you by KHS and Associates, your source for affordable health insurance. For 104.3 and 102.1 ESPN Northwest Florida, I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
Let the adventures begin in a new Kia from Bill Bird Kia. Now offering 3.49% APR up to 48 months on the purchase of a new 2022 Kia Sorento. You can expand your horizons and ride your next chapter with confidence in the outgoing and adventurous 2022 Kia Sorento that has the perfect balance of comfort, safety, performance, and technology. Bill Bird Kia is the home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by and see us at 2435 East 15th Street or anytime at BillBirdKia.com. We make buying a car easy and give you the peace of mind that you can trust.
Offer from KMM for the purchase of a new 2022 Sorento with $22.36 per month per 1,000 financed at 48 months. Quantities limited. No down payment required. Cannot be combined with other finance offers. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Bird Kia warranty. See dealer for complete details. Offer for well-qualified buyers. Plus take delivery from dealer stock through 9/6/22.
From the Florida-Bama line to the Gulf of Mexico. WGSX Lynn Haven, WTOT, W271DM Mariana. Powered by Pepsi. ESPN Northwest Florida. Put down your natural light. It's time for the Alabama Update. The Alabama Update, weekday mornings at 8. On the Coach James Hale Show at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Whoa. I almost said War Eagle. Roll. Hey, man, it's cocaine's a hell of a drug. I almost said War Eagle. 15 minutes later, I'll be saying War Eagle. Alabama Updates brought by Stevenson Air Conditioning. I can't say enough good things about Jason and those crew down there. They do a great job. Family-owned, great employees. They work extremely hard. They came in and put a brand-new unit in our house, and that's the best our house ever looked after they left. Julie got mad at me saying that, but that's the truth. They do a great job. Give them a call. Go by and see them. They'll come out and help you out anytime, day or night. I don't care what time it breaks down. Call them. They'll be out there and fix it. I tell you all the time, the only thing you can actually buy that truly pays for itself because you save so much money. Our electricity bill went down when we bought a Stevenson air conditioner. They got some of the top brand names. They'll do a great job. They'll sit down and talk to you, tell you exactly what you need, and you got to make some choices, and they'll help you along the way. Stevenson Air Conditioning, Alabama Crimson Tide update. Jeremy, what do you got for us today on Alabama?
Tommy, you notice how Coach has been smiling today, and we know why. Because with Nick Saban signed his new contract, it triggered that clause in his contract to make him the highest paid announcer here in the studio.
That is a true statement. Yeah, Randy has that in my contract. Saban goes up, I go up. Thank you for reminding me about that.
So he is beaming ear to ear, even with the false start, giving us a War Eagle on the fight song. So, yeah, if you haven't heard, Saban and the university have agreed to some new terms for the contract that are running through 2030. And that makes Saban 78 years of age at that point. So, remember Spurrier years ago talking about being too old to coach. And he said, well, the Pope just got elected and he's 72. He said, if I can coach 11, he's overseeing, millions. So age is just a number. But that'll quiet any of the folks out there that might want to start using Saban's age against him and the recruiting factor. And did you see the breakdown? 11.7 a year. 75,000 bonus for a championship game appearance, 125 if you win it, 200,000 for a New Year's Six, 400,000 for a semifinal, 600,000 for a national championship appearance, and 800,000 for winning it all.
So 12.5, what he'll make.
Yeah. So it makes him the highest paid again, and it was because in his contract there is a clause that says they can revisit it based on market conditions. Well, you knew what market conditions emerged Kirby's contract.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So that's interesting. he really cannot see himself not coaching. He said he's been part of a team his whole life, so I don't see a scenario as long as he has good health and he's able to enjoy it.
I'll say game day. That'll be his next job. If he retires and wants to work anymore, he'll be on game day.
He'll go in and do the game day work there. So, but that's the latest. And Coach, congratulations on your new terms as well, undisclosed, of course. Cause, so let's shift to the press conference yesterday. Last media appearance before game week. Saban had several things that he mentioned. Typical Coach Saban speak. He echoed needing to play consistently. You can almost hear Coach Whidden from Mosley kind of channeling some of this when he talks about this early, discipline and doing things the right way and cutting down on the mistakes and doing the things you can to control a good outcome. Had praise for Jordan Battle. Battle was one of the players that was mentioned. He is looking at a 3-player rotation around linebacker. Linebacker core, linebacker play has always been good. Henry Toto'o from Tennessee, that was the transfer. Jalen Moody highlighted there. He had great praise for offensive line coach Eric Wolford. If there was an Achilles heel for the ball team last year, it really was the O-line play. And he noted that, Kendall Randolph, Javion Cohen, whoever is at left guard, we can expect better performance with left guard than we had last year. And that's good news. It really is. Wide receivers, we've talked about the losses of Mechie Williams, and of course now there's the injury to JoJo Earl. And so that's opportunity for folks to step up. He named 2. Emmanuel Henderson. Now, you may remember Henderson was a running back that has now been converted to wide receiver. And Kobe Prentice also mentioned, good to see freshmen because that means they may be in the program a little while. And if they can get some reps and perform well, that looks good for the future. And then the depth chart ahead of the ball game will be released on Monday. Special teams, Reichert, consistent performer. I think every Alabama fan is breathing a little easier with him at kicker. Had a great year last year. You hope that can continue. That's been kind of an Achilles heel for Saban along the way. But he did mention Burnip, the punter. Hope we don't have to see him a whole lot anyway.
Right.
But he said he's got great potential, but there is kind of need for improvement. So it's not a position we rely on a whole lot, but you get into the defensive struggle, as you know, it's those yards that don't get included where you get
the field.
You flip the field 45 yards versus, 30 yards can make a difference in a field possession type of, murder ball type game, as he calls it. So looking at Utah State, they play UConn at home this weekend, so we will get a look at Utah State. And you have said this through the course of the year.
I'm telling you.
This is not just a gimme ball game.
Blake Anderson can coach. He's gone against Bama before. He's OC at Southern Mississippi. He's been at Arkansas State. Jeremy, I'm telling you right now, I don't think they cover week 1. Was it 37.5? I don't have Bama covering that game.
Yeah, I'm with you. They'll play a tough-nosed ball game. If you're a guarantee game like Utah State coming in, you want to come in and do everything you can to shorten the game, reduce the number of plays, not have your kids out there in the heat, as long because you don't have the depth. And Anderson's a smart coach that can try to minimize that, minimize the explosive plays, keep them in front of you. I mean, there's a way that you're just trying to, one, survive the game, but two, if you just want to hang around, don't get blown out in the first 5 minutes. Don't get.
I will say this: it might be a long game, depending on how Blake handles it, because his offense, they'll go quick.
They'll go quick.
They'll get lined up quick sometimes, and then sit there and let the clock run down. But I've seen him just play so quick, get so many plays in, tire down a defense, and they usually throw the ball quite a bit, but not some of the passes are short, high percentage passes where the clock, like you talking, the clock will continue to run. Blake Smart, I don't have Bama covering.
Well, Utah State against UConn, I expect them to beat UConn. That's a game we'll pick here in a little bit. I'll go ahead and show mine. UConn has struggled mightily, flashes of trying to be a D1 program, but they will get a game under the belt versus Alabama, who will come out and have some of those first game jitters. So maybe a little closer than folks expect for the first quarter and a half, next Saturday night at Bryant-Denny. Utah State will get a nice payday for this one. They'll get not quite 1 month's Coach Saban's salary for making the trip. They get a little more than that, actually. $1.91 million to fly across country and pick up a paycheck. And that's one of the things, I was sending you that text last night. Some of these guaranteed games are pushing almost $2 million to get these group of five teams to come in and play these ball games. I looked up the other two. Alabama will pay La Monroe $1.915, so just a little bit more than they're paying Utah State.
Right.
And the cheapest ball game they've got on the schedule, they're paying Austin Peay $600,000.
Wow. I thought that might be the most.
Yeah, no. La Monroe commanding a good.
What do you think? So they really just want to play Alabama. The other ones are doing it for the money.
Yeah.
Because they could have got more.
Austin Peay could have sold that game to somebody else. They wanted that notoriety. Come to Austin Peay and you can play at Bryant-Denny.
Seriously.
When's the kid going to get to do that? Yeah. So you can run on the field.
I never forget when we were recruited at Southern Mississippi, we said they mentioned that we play Alabama, we play Auburn, we play SEC schools, and if you weren't good enough to go to those schools, you want to at least play them, and that was a good selling point from Southern.
Yeah, I was looking into this last night a little bit, and it's interesting because the reverse is happening in some cases where you've got Power 5 schools who are going to play at Group of 5 schools. And I sent you that, where Vanderbilt, an SEC school, is opening at Hawaii this year. And, of course, Hawaii is a popular destination for schools all over. But I believe North Carolina, I think, is playing at App State. I'll go through it and look at it. But
North Carolina's playing at App State?
I believe that's right. I'll look at it and pull that one up. But it's an interesting conversation because you think everybody's coming in, as a smaller school to play these bigger schools. And that's not necessarily the case here with these guarantee games. So we'll maybe talk about that a little bit.
Jeremy, let me ask you one other thing while we're on Bama. We got to take a break. ESPN analyst Mad Dog. I just wrote down his nickname, Mad Dog. I don't know if he was going against. The big guy on TV on ESPN, Smith.
Yeah, Steve Smith.
CJ Smith. Yeah, I like him too. He said they're talking about the greatest coach of all time in the history of college football. They didn't mention Bear Bryant. This guy didn't say it was Nick Saban. He said the greatest coach in the history of football was Notre Dame's Air Precision. He was head coach at Notre Dame from 1964 to 1974. He won 2 national championships. He was listen to these wins, 170 wins, 58 losses, and he tied 6. One tie cost Alabama a national championship. Should have cost Notre Dame, but it was 1966. He beat Bear Bryant twice, though. That's the feather in his cap. He beat Alabama twice, I think, one for the 73 national championship. UPI, Alabama already had won it. Saban's record, 269, almost 100 more wins, and only a few more losses, but he's been a head coach a lot longer. Winning decisions, Saban's better. Saban won 7 national championships. Was this guy just trying to stir the pot? Was he just trying to get his name out there or what? Who in their right mind would think – and Air was a great coach. I remember him. I do think he's an elite coach. But he's not in the same league as Nick Saban, in my opinion. And I think 99% of the country is going to feel the same way.
Yeah, that one's not going to get much traction.
Yeah, did you see it?
I did see it. It made me think of this Bama fan that lives over in Atmore who's put together – or lives in Birmingham. He was born in Atmore, but on Twitter, you can read about his 19 days of misery, and he put together the 19 losses of the Nick Saban era since 2008.
That would be good. I need you to do that next week. We might do that today. All right, let's take a break. We're running late right now. Let's talk about some of our great people. Stevenson Air Conditioning, thank you so much for the Alabama Crimson Tide update. Paparazzi Gourmet Deli, if you love pizzas, there's only one place to go. That's Paparazzi. I know Tommy, Louise, we had a wonderful time down there every time we go. Is that food not great?
It's very good.
Very good.
Excellent pizza.
Thomas Drive, right there, right down the street, right across the street, actually, from that Cajun place. Great pizza. John, is a retired police officer, does a great job. We get back. We got the Auburn update brought to you by Bay Point Golf. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Raindrops are falling on my head, and just like the guy whose feet are too big for his bed.
Danger. The ESPN Northwest Florida variant is now spreading. Attention. Biohazard detected. Attention. Now heard on 104.3 Panama City and 102.1 Mariana.
Biohazard warning. Danger.
Attention. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Danger.
Dear past, present, and future football watchers, you know why we're here. The football season is back! Woo! That means those pregame barbecues with an ice-cold Pepsi? Totally back. Your perfectly placed football-watching corner seat back and comfy as ever. 18 Sundays of touchdown scoring, Hail Mary throwing, ice-cold Pepsi flowing football action. You better believe it's back. And since that's too amazing to miss a single second's worth, Pepsi is officially giving you permission to always put football first. And when we say always, we mean always. Like when your lawn is looking less like a lawn and more like a jungle. If the game's on, then the lawnmower ain't. And those gutters you haven't cleaned, today is not their day. Or maybe those in-laws are back in town. Well, better hope they're football fans because your Sunday is completely booked. Long story short, crack open a Pepsi and don't let anything get between you and your football watching. With love, Pepsi, made for football watching. That's what I like.
Good Thursday morning. Looks like the moisture is going to stick around for a while. Showers and thunderstorms expected today, tonight, and Friday. We'll go with a blend of sun and clouds, mid to upper 80s during the day, mid to upper 70s at night, and a southwest wind about 10 to 15, water temperature in the Gulf 87 degrees. This weather forecast has been brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. For 104.3 and 102.1 ESPN Northwest Florida, I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
Tiger fans, join us weekday mornings at 8:15. It's the Bay Point Golf Auburn Update on the Coach James Hale Show at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Say it.
War Eagle! Hey, breaking news. Everybody sit back and listen to this. Incredible. Lorelei Hale. Lorelei Hale says, everybody get out to Rudy Tootie's today and have yourself, she wants you to get that chicken. You know how you love the turkey? Mm-hmm. Tommy loves the pork sandwiches and barbecue. Lorelei always gets the grilled chicken. Lorelei Hale, we love you. We'll get down there and do that. All right, let's get into Auburn Update. Brought to you by Bay Point Golf. You love golf. There's only one place to play. That is Bay Point. Club 72. Everything that goes on out there, great. Another place. Get through playing golf, go watch some ball games, have your cold drink, have a good meal. Right there, Club 72. All right, Auburn Tigers. Jeremy, I've always said Auburn's one of the best jobs in college football. The hardest thing about Auburn, especially right now, you got Nick Saban at Alabama. You got Kirby Smart at Georgia. Your two biggest rivalries just played each other for the SEC championship. They just played each other for the national championship. We were talking about some of the heartbreak losses Saban's had. Auburn's two of them. Auburn kicked 6 games, goes down in history. Auburn with Cam Newton and Bryant Denny. Alabama looked like they're going to run him out of the stadium. And Auburn comes back. Cam brings them back, and they win that game and go on and win the national championship. It's an elite game. Auburn's one of the most watched football teams in college football. The top 8 or 9 in the country, Auburn's there. They have great fans. They got a great stadium. They got it all going. You can win a championship at Auburn. Pat Dye did it. Chiswick won a national championship. Gus did it. This is the SEC by viewership, average weekly viewership out of the SEC. A lot of people are surprised at this. Alabama's number one. Alabama's one of the top 3 in the nation. Alabama. 4.6 million, and over 4.6 million. Number 2, the defending national champions, Georgia Bulldogs, 3.6. And there's right there at Auburn Tigers. Auburn Tigers, third best in the SEC, one of the top in the nation. They're at 3.22 million, right below Georgia. So Auburn's got the fan base. I'm like you. If everybody get on the same page up there at Auburn, get behind Harsin, Yellowwood, all those guys, and put their resources together and come up with NIL deals, their recruiting would shoot right up. Okay, yeah, I can't. Again, if you don't think Auburn's a good job, you know what I'm talking about. Go to a game there and you'll see what I'm talking about. Number 4 in the SEC was Florida, 2.2 million. Number 5 in the SEC was Arkansas. Can you believe that? Little state Arkansas, 2.3. Over LSU. LSU was 6, 1.9 million. They had a bad year last year. Go ahead.
Well, you've got Arkansas with, like Alabama, it is the game in town.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have Sunday afternoon with the New Orleans Saints, you know, to be able to bide your time in a major metro area.
Yeah.
So the Arkansas, the West Virginias, you know, I mean, those places, that is the professional sports league. So really doesn't surprise me. And that's a proud program out there. They're knocking on the door. You know, they're going to do better than think folks may be expecting.
All right, number 6 was Texas A&M. You would think, you know, Texas was higher. I really thought, I know they had a bad year last year, but I thought Texas A&M would be higher than that. But they're at 1.68 million. Ole Miss is right there at number 8, 1.81. That's really close. Tennessee was next, 1.5. Then it was Kentucky, 1.08. And then it drops down pretty bad. Mississippi State, 858,000. South Carolina, 575,000. Ole Miss was Missouri was at 462,000.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Well, and you think Missouri came into the conference for the market, and yeah.
Vandy, 37,000.
So you didn't renew for the Commodore Network?
No, I didn't. Vandy's hurting. All right, 24/7. They came out with their, you know, they do it certain times. They change it up. They hear about injuries, whatever. They all do it all at CBS, 24/7, ESPN. Here's what 24/7's latest on the Auburn Tigers going to a bowl game. Guess where they have them going? You will never guess if you didn't do a cheat sheet. You'll never get it.
I would probably have them down in Tampa, Outback.
Pretty good guess.
Gator Bowl.
Pretty good guess. Let me just say this. It's out west.
Oh.
It's not in the state of Florida.
They're going to Vegas?
Jeremy Pridge. No wonder you pay him that much money. This guy's incredible.
So they're in the SEC Pac-12 matchup. Wow.
They have Auburn going to Las Vegas. I tell you what, there'll be a lot of Auburn fans go out there. That stadium is gorgeous. That's an unbelievable stadium. Hey, not New Orleans, but Las Vegas, they have a good time out there. I think Auburn will travel well to that. Auburn, they got them having a decent year. They got them going out to Las Vegas Bowl on December 17th, one of the earlier games.
Yeah.
And they got them playing Washington. That'd be a good. I would like to see that.
That'd be a good matchup.
I kind of think Auburn's going to do better than what people think. I really do. I'm hearing things. I think Auburn's better if they can stay healthy. The thing about them, it's just like last year. They got to beat Penn State. Got to beat Penn State.
Who you think who's going to be the quarterback at Auburn?
I think it's going to by that game. I think T.J. Finley's probably going to start. But my boy, when I told you I watched that Hoover, Ashford, Bobby, that kid can play, man. He can run like a deer. He's got great lateral movement, great quickness. They'll have a package for him in every game. I think you'll see him play in every game. I could be wrong. T.J. Finley, they say he's been more consistent throwing the ball. He's not very fast, but he's a man now, 6'7", 255, whatever it is. So we'll see. But I got a feeling it's going to be Bobby by Penn State. I could be totally wrong on this. All right, SEC 24/7. These are other bowl games for SEC schools. The Birmingham Bowl, December 27th, they got Mississippi State versus Maryland. I hear Maryland's going to be pretty good this year. Gasparilla Bowl, December 23rd, you got LSU versus Louisville. I think Louisville's going to be a lot better. All right, I just told you about the Vegas Bowl. Liberty Bowl, December 28th. They got the Florida Gators in the Liberty Bowl. They got them. Florida's going to go see Elvis's house.
Florida won't leave the state.
Yeah. They got them playing West Virginia. Florida, West Virginia, December 28th, Liberty Bowl. Texas Bowl, December 28th, you got Texas playing Ole Miss. I wouldn't mind seeing that.
A little future conference matchup.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing that one. Gator Bowl, Tommy. Gator Bowl, December 30th. They're getting a lot of love. South Carolina versus Pitt. Pitt lost their quarterback. I don't know how good Pitt's going to be. And this other bowl game, January 2nd, I don't even know what it is. It's a new one. They changed the sponsorship. It's Tennessee versus Notre Dame. January 2nd. So where's it? January 2nd? I should have wrote.
I don't know. I thought the Birmingham Bowl was
That's
earlier.
early. That's early.
Is that the old Florida Citrus Bowl?
No.
No?
I'll come back to that. Music City Bowl, December 31st, Kentucky versus Penn State. Citrus Bowl, January 2nd, Arkansas versus Minnesota. That's the Citrus Bowl.
Tennessee, Notre Dame's going to be that one in Carolina. That was old Belk Bowl.
I think you're right. I think you're right. Sugar Bowl, December 31st, Texas A&M versus Oklahoma. Peach Bowl. Now, these are playoff games. Peach Bowl, December 30th, they got Alabama versus Clemson. The Fiesta Bowl, you got Georgia, same day. They didn't say what. One game would be at 4, one game would be at 8 Eastern time. Georgia versus Ohio State. National Championship game, January 9th, out in California. It's where they played the Super Bowl. You'll have Alabama versus Ohio State for the national championship. That, according to 24/7. I got a couple more things I want to get at Auburn. Auburn Tigers. Let's see what we got. Coach Harsin on their center, Nick Brahms. I don't know, Jeremy, what's going on with him. He's at Navarre. He took advantage of the COVID. They got one more year to play. We're less than 2 weeks away if Auburn kicks off against Mercer. He's missed, for undisclosed injury, he's missed a lot of time. Harsin said there's no timetable on his return. Auburn's trying to let him heal up, get healthy before he returns. This is what Harsin said. At some point, we'll figure out what his situation is. Mm-hmm. This, to me now, this does not make sense to me. Figure out what the final decision is going to be. Figure out what the final decision is going to be. He arrived at Auburn in 2017, redshirted. 2018, he played 8 games. He played 9 games in 2019. He started and played in all 11 games in 2020. And in 2021, he played in games. Good football player. Played at Navarre. Really good kid. Heard great things about him. Do you think maybe he decided to come back and play that 6th year, and now maybe he's questioning it?
Sounds like it.
Yeah, because when they don't tell you it's not a knee, he's had some health issues before.
Yeah,
so I don't know what it could be.
Sounds like they're not going to be in the program much longer anyway. Whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
not very encouraging.
Yeah, it doesn't sound good there. So I thought that was interesting. Why would you want to come out and pay for, he's had the injuries. I guess he didn't feel like he can play in the NFL. Maybe he thought I could come back and play in the NFL. I don't know. That one I thought was kind of strange. But that's what I got for today for the Auburn Tigers. Ryan Mulvey being here tomorrow talking more about the Tigers. TJ Finley, we have not yet. I hadn't looked this morning, but I have not heard yet. He is not named a quarterback. Andy Burcham's on Tuesday, the voice of the Auburn Tigers. He said we should know something this week, maybe Monday, game week, who's going to be the quarterback. If it's close, you go the guy that's been playing, right? Mm-hmm. So do you think it's TJ?
And you may see both of them coming out of the gate.
Yeah.
Opening game's not going to be too much of a test. So.
All right, we get back. Jeremy Prison, hey, get your money ready. You're going to make big money this year if you follow us. We've knocked it out of the ballpark for 5 straight years on ESPN. Vegas cannot do better than we do when it picks college football and high school football. Jeremy Pritchard got the games lined up. We'll get into that when we get back. Let's talk about some of our great people like Bay Point Golf. If you love golf, get out to Bay Point. Appreciate them doing the Auburn update. Don't forget about J. Michael's Restaurant, Stevenson Air Conditioning, South Oak Title and Closing, Buffalo Rock, great job they do there, and Dr. Tad Mitchell, 23 years on Bay County Sideline, does an incredible job. That Cajun place, 75-cent wings, man, starting this weekend. Get there early, watch Nebraska, Northern Illinois, stay and watch Florida State play. We'll be down there, no doubt about that. Rudy's Barbecue on Bat Beach Road. My granddaughters love that place. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida is your radio home for live and local sports coverage. for the most high school and college sports from right here in our local area. It's the Coach James Hale Show, weekday mornings 7 till 9. Then the ride home is alive and kicking with the afternoon underdogs, covering the gamut of sports. Plus, the radio home for the defending world champion Atlanta Braves. Your local sports station is ESPN Northwest Florida.
Great design is timeless, and that's why Tracy's Fine Jewelry inside Coin and Bullion Reserves offers a stunning selection of vintage, antique, estate jewelry on sale now at 40% off. Exquisite Victorian rings, Art Deco diamond brooches, Georgian and Art Deco bracelets, earrings, and pendants. These one-of-a-kind pieces add personality to any ensemble, and now at 40% off. Find your timeless treasure at Tracy's Fine Jewelry inside Coin and Bullion Reserves.
Sykes Concrete has been in business in this area since 1947, and 3 generations later, they're still going strong. See Sykes Concrete for dirt, sand, rock, and concrete. They can handle any size job from the smallest to the largest. Sykes Concrete pays CDL truck drivers some of the highest wages in Bay County, making $50,000 to $75,000 a year, including holiday and vacation pay, plus health insurance. See Hugh Sykes at Sykes Concrete, 8030 Highway 77, on the right, just north of Southport Elementary School.
The Beach Care Services dinner is back. The last dinner was in 2019 due to COVID, and the charity has felt the impact. But Beach Care Services is beyond excited for the return of Dinner on the Bay. This fun, family-friendly event features a 3-course dinner, block party, $5,000 cash raffle, and jewelry raffle. Join our community for a night of fun, October 4th from 5 to 9 at the Shrimp Boat Restaurant. Proceeds go to helping our locals in times of need. Tickets available on Eventbrite under Dinner on the Bay.
From the Vortex Springs to the Bear Paw Canoe Trail. From Shell Island to 30A. We're your home for live sports. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michael Studio. ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Get your notebook out. Put your recorder on. You're going to want to listen to this. Jeremy's got their picks. And all you got to do is listen to us and then get your bookie, call into Vegas. Or, I was going to make, I better not say that. All right, Jeremy,
you
what
wouldn't
you
be
got?
condoning illegal
No, it's legal.
betting, would you?
It's legal.
Oh, okay.
It's all legal. Go ahead, Jeremy.
All right. Well, I forget what the results were, but you declared yourself the winner last year. So, defending champ, you get to go last here on all these
That's
picks.
right.
We're going to pick 16 games today. The bulk of them are high school because we're in week 0 of the college football schedule. I think there's 7 games being played, and we're going to pick 4 of those.
Are you going to keep the chart all year?
I'll keep the chart here. Yep. And we're going to lock them in here. So we'll start kind of out in the Panhandle, go up to Jackson County, Cottondale. The Hornets are making the short trip across the county to go and play at Sneads. Both programs, Class A, Sneads had a pretty good year last year. They've been pretty consistent. I'm going to take the Pirates at home to open.
Tommy?
Pirates.
Bill Thomas got a good ball club. They're gonna take care of business.
So we all are taking Sneads. By the way, I went out to Mosley High Tuesday night. The Sneads Pirates, the ladies were in town. And for high school volleyball, they are the 9-time defending state champion in Class A. And they came in. Of course, Mosley's the defending 5A champion. And it was just a great environment out there. Mosley did win the match, I think 11-13-19, but the girls played well in a tough environment out there at the tank, and just a good solid Class A program. Very good crowd. And speaking of Mosley volleyball, they've got Niceville coming to town tonight. Both are undefeated games at Mosley. Yeah. That'll be a really good test here for high school volleyball. But Cottondale at Sneads, all of us have Sneads, so. Graceville, another Jackson County team making the short trip over to Bonifay to play Holmes County. Graceville's struggling not only with rebuilding, but just getting kids out to play and having student population. I mean, you hear whispers of even some consolidation perhaps out there if you listen closely.
Is Coach Bower the head coach there?
I'm not sure
Tommy,
who's leading them in.
Bonifay or Grace?
Graceful. I think Bower is. I don't know. I'll check into that. I hope so.
I've got the Blue Devils at home winning that one. Holmes County.
Tommy, who you got?
I got Bonifay all the way.
Holmes County coach is doing a great job over there. He's building a program. A lot of people out there. He does an outstanding job. They're going to win.
Then heading to Calhoun County, Freeport Bulldogs heading in to play the Bluntstown Tigers. So a battle of the cats and dogs, Tommy. I know where your heart sort of leans on this one.
Who you got, Tommy?
Well, I'm going to take Bluntstown, even though they lost their best player, Jordan Pride, went to IMG Academy. But I'm gonna go with Bluntstown. It's at Bowles Field. So
they did lose a great player at IMG Academy. He's committed to Florida State, correct?
Yeah, right now.
Yeah, Jeremy, who you got?
I've got Bluntstown at home. That's a strong program.
Yeah,
they've just been reloading each year, and
I love the head football coach at Freeport. Southern Mississippi guy, knows what he's doing, does an incredible job. And they're going to have a good ball club this year. But I think Bluntstown, very athletic, a lot of speed, and they got to travel. I'm going to go with the home team.
And battle of two I-10 schools here. Walton making the trip over to Mariana. Interesting opening game matchup.
That's going to be a good game.
I think it's going to be a good ball game. I'm going to lean with the Braves coming in to Mariana and getting the W, though.
Walton, without a doubt.
I'll go against you guys just for the heck of it. I think Mariana at home in a close one. I don't feel good about that, but I'm going to go Mariana.
Mariana's only got 10 players. They're going to play with 10.
I'll call you at halftime. Now, Mariana beat a really good Sneeze football team. What do you know, Jeremy? Usually you know something.
Walton's a solid program, and they've had the edge over the last couple of years. And I think this is about momentum. I think
Walton's favored.
All right, yeah. I'm just taking a shot in the dark. I'm gonna go Mariana. I'm gonna call Coach Siegel and ask him real quick.
Now, to me, this is one of the more intriguing matchups of the whole weekend. Baker, the Gators. Perennial power, Class A, always making a run deep into the playoffs, heading down to play South Walton. And the Seahawks, high-profile offense. They score a lot of points. They move the ball quickly.
Did Coach retire? Didn't Coach retire at Baker?
I don't think so, but you may know something I didn't know about.
I thought look that up. I think he might have retired. Who are you going with?
If this game were at Baker, I'd take the Gators, but with it being at South Walton, I'm going with the Seahawks.
Tommy, who you going with?
I think Walton.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Coach. I tell you what, though. I don't feel good about it.
Surprised if Baker doesn't come in.
I don't feel good about this one. But
Barry
South
Gardner's the new coach.
All right, I got South Walton. Yeah, South Walton got a good ball. Got a good coach.
All right.
I thought he got out of it. Yeah.
Now, one to watch in the Panhandle this year, and there's a lot of buzz around this ball team. They absolutely destroyed North Bay Haven last week, but Port St. Joe feels really good about this ball team and this edition of the Tiger Sharks, and they're on the road over at Jefferson County, big season opener.
Jefferson County.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about
Monticello.
Monticello.
Yeah, but didn't they were pretty good the last couple of years, right?
Not Madison County. That's a little further over. Yeah.
I got the St. Joe Sharks.
PSJ.
Who'd you go with?
Port St. Joe.
That sounds good to me. Week one,
Jefferson County's undefeated, though.
Yeah.
They haven't played a game yet.
Yeah, 0-0. And over in Liberty County, this has been one of those stories of the last few weeks. Just your hearts go out to the Vernon Yellow Jackets. Lost to their head coach, Trey Pike, and they're going to play with a lot of emotion, taking the field at Liberty County. Liberty is a tough place to play for any team coming in, and I've got the Bulldogs at home. Rolling.
I got Liberty County too. I got the Bulldogs.
Both y'all got Liberty. I kind of want to pick Vern just because of what happened.
I think you need to.
But I think Liberty might do it. All right, go ahead.
All right, and then the Weewell Gators dropped the opener in the kickoff classic to McClay 21-7 last Friday night. And they're going to play another private school. They're heading up to the Columbus, Georgia area to play Brookwood, Georgia.
I don't know anything about that.
I think it's going to be a tough night for the Gators. Brookwood, trying to think of kind of a comparable school here, and if you're familiar with like maybe Montgomery Academy or St. James or something like that.
Is this a money game for them? Are they making money going?
I think it's home and home. I think Brookwood comes back, but I may be wrong on that one. But I think Brookwood, gets the win. Long road trip up for the Gators and back. So, got to pick against the heart and go with Brookwood.
I'm going to have to go with Brookwood too.
I'm with you.
All right, another out-of-state team coming into the Panhandle is our first local pick. The Bozeman Bucks hosting Geneva. Geneva dropped their opener last week, and they're coming into the Sandhills to play Bozeman. I got Bozeman big at home.
Yep, Bozeman.
I tell you what, I think Coach is one of the best coaches in the state. Coach Griff does an incredible job. I got him. I got Bozeman.
All right. We talked to Coach Whidden earlier today, and Mosley opened with Rutherford in the kickoff classic. Rutherford was outmanned, outgunned, outmatched, the whole night. And I think it's going to be a long season for the Rams. They open at Chipley, and they'll take the trip up to Washington County, play Chipley perennial program, tough, competitive. I've got the Tigers at home over the Rams.
Tigers also.
I'm sorry, I was listening to Michigan Eddie. I was reading something. Who are they playing?
We took care of you.
Okay. I just know.
Just give us your wallet.
Rutherford and Chipley. I got Chipley. Rutherford, I think it'll be closer than people think. Tillman does an incredible job. You just don't have much growth over there, Is their enrollment's down?
Get them out.
Yeah.
Speaking of North Bay Haven, they're going to go right back down 98, go a little further, and then St. Joe, they'll go into East Point, and North Bay Haven will be at Franklin. I've got the Bucks bouncing back, taking care of the Seahawks, and getting on the winning ways.
That's a tough game. I'm going to have to go with North Bay Haven also.
Don't know much about either one of them. I know they got a new coach, and I've got. If anybody knows how to get up with him, I need to know. I'll go with you two.
All right, and then two more high school games here. Bayard Arnold. It was a tough showing for the Tornadoes at Enterprise.
That's Enterprise
last week.
Enterprise got a heck of a ball
and
club.
that's great.
Players.
Great program up there.
Yeah. Brown does a great job. Campbell does a great job. It's at Arnold, home game. Who you got?
Ooh, it's a tough one. That's a toss-up to me. And
Bay still got their quarterback, right?
Arnold's got their quarterback.
Yeah.
Arnold's got a really good quarterback.
Bay's got a really good one, too. He's good.
Arnold's got a great one.
It was just such a thorough beating that Bay took at Enterprise that it's hard to know. I mean, if that game had been competitive, Tommy and I were talking about it, then you go, okay, well, maybe, didn't expect to win, but you showed well.
Yeah. This is big rivalry.
This game. One, with it being at home, I'm going to take the Marlins.
Who you got?
I'm going to take Bay High School.
I think Bay, speed kills.
Smiley kid's fast.
Y'all about to talk me into changing my pick.
Can't do it.
Can't do it. Once you put it down, it's locked in. Locked in. All right. And we'll try to get one more in before the break here. We talked to Coach Whidden. They're on the bus now. Hopefully the kid that was late showed up. Everybody's in a good mood.
I hope those kids was late so we can play in the game.
Yeah. Playing Delaware Valley. This is home of Delaware Valley University. So there's a university program there in the town as well, which I thought was interesting. So this is a football area. 1,500 students at the school up there. Mosley's got a little over 2,000. He mentioned they're both eliminated third round. Big Ten type of, fullback,
Two
I
tights,
formation,
yeah.
two tights, pop a play action pass. Mosley's going to try to spread it out. I mean, you've got these contrasting styles. If Mosley can play this game fast, those guys from Pittsburgh or Pennsylvania will melt. They'll wilt. So go Dolphins.
I got Mosley all the way. Mosley.
I don't know anything about this team. They're flying down. We're taking buses down there.
They're already posting on Twitter at their Universal Day 2, so they're enjoying their time in Florida.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna go with the homeboys just because I don't know enough about the other team. I'll go Mosley.
all right, so those are our high school picks.
When we get back, the college picks. We'll be right back. Let's talk about some of our great sponsors. Appreciate all your support. You guys do a wonderful job, every single one of you people. Dr. Ward, 1 in 5 develop skin cancer. Don't play around with it, man. If you think it doesn't look right, feel right, go get checked. You got to get checked about every 6 months. Go see Dr. Ward. If you're listening right now, there's an office near you. John and Charlotte, appreciate everything you great people do for the community. Get out to Newbies, tell them we sent you. Newbies 2 on the curve to watch all sporting events. Also, man, El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill. Happy hour, 4 to 7. The best in U.S. Mexican restaurant on Bay County, right across the Navy base on Thomas Drive. Dave and those crew do a great job. Get down there. Hey, the afternoon games, great Mexican food, great drink specials. Can't beat that. And don't forget about, we're back, man, the Cajun place. That Cajun place, 75-cent wings. You can't beat that. You can't get that anywhere. I said it. Yeah, I'm right. 75 cents. Wings. Tommy, we're going, you buying.
Okay,
we're back.
Wait.
We're 104.3 ESPN in Northwest Florida.
Rainy days and Mondays always get me down. What I've got, they used to.
Your attention, please. ESPN Northwest Florida reminds you it's the law. It's the law. When there's a double red flag, stay out of the water, stick your toes in the sand, grab a cold drink, and listen to live sports.
Swung on, miss, strike 3.
On 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Double play!
Good Thursday morning. Looks like the moisture is going to stick around for a while. Showers and thunderstorms expected today, tonight, and Friday. We'll go with a blend of sun and clouds, mid to upper 80s during the day, mid to upper 70s at night, and a southwest wind about 10 to 15, water temperature in the Gulf 87 degrees. This weather forecast has been brought to you by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. For 104.3 and 102.1 ESPN Northwest Florida, I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
Golf Plus is your premier golf shop on the Gulf Coast. Not a big box or a chain store, but a local store with golf experts to serve you. An amazing array of demo and fitting products, plus a professional repair shop that can handle anything from a basic re-grip to a full set of re-shafts and everything in between. Golf Plus has locations in Dothan and Panama City Beach to serve you. Come see them today for all your golf needs. Located next to Firefly at the shops at Edgewater. Call 850-249-2726.
Hey there, I'm Swampy Jack. I've traveled the world for decades, and now I've brought some of my most exciting adventures to Panama City Beach. Brave perilous heights of the Kraken Tower Swing as you soar above the beach. The whole family will have fun playing my new mini golf course, which recreates my expedition to the ruins of Angkor Wat. Skip the restaurant lines and enjoy a meal at Swampy's Cantina, and enjoy a beer while you listen to laughter bubbling from the spin coaster. Your adventure awaits at Swampy Jack's Wango Adventure.
Dr. Chad Mitchell, orthopedic surgeon, specializing in sports medicine and joint replacement of the knee, shoulder, and hip. He serves our local athletes and our community. Southern Orthopedic Specialist has been the leader in orthopedic care for over 20 years. New patients are welcome. Call 850-769-KNEE to schedule an appointment. More about Dr. Mitchell and Southern Orthopedic Specialist is available on their website, southernorthopedic.com. Southern Orthopedic, getting you back in the game.
College football isn't life and death. It's much more important than that. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michaels Studio. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. We're having a great time, great show. The Louisville Slugger walks in here. I say Roll Tide.
Louisville.
Louisville Slugger walks in here. Randy, how good is Louisville going to be for real? Now, I'm trying to get these picks in. Are they going to be better?
You know, I don't really. Somebody asked me about Clemson this morning too, and you know, I don't know. You know, and the other question, Miami. How's Miami going to be? You know, they got an unbelievable coaching
some great
staff.
players.
Yeah,
you know, that's right. I mean, you got to get in line, get with Alabama, but you got to get that checkbook out if you're going to get some good players.
Out of the 30 best players in Florida, they've already got 16 of them.
I think it's great.
I'm serious.
Well, I know.
I want the swagger back.
Yeah.
Got to have the swagger back.
I got them going to Texas A&M and winning.
Who, Miami?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
I mean, look at their coaching staff.
Am I too early on this one? I can change it that week now.
No, you can change it anytime between now and then. I hadn't written it down yet, but that's an interesting pick.
Yeah.
I mean, possibly could happen.
I don't know. I
mean, look at the assistant coaches.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, Charlie Strong is a co-defensive coordinator. This guy's won national championships at Florida.
Yeah, you were saying all the right things before you started on the coaching staff. It's they're buying players. They're getting great players. Who's the millionaire down there?
Why?
Billionaire. The billionaire down there. Who is it? Torres. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
why they're going to be better. If you can take an average coaching staff with great players and win, but to win a championship, you got to be elite. Though I do agree with that.
You really do. You got to be at that next level.
Yeah, to win it all.
Yeah.
You're right.
But Miami's finally starting to get that checkbook out. You know, that's good.
No, it's not.
Oh, it is.
We need to get those players out of Miami.
All those
We need to keep getting those receivers down.
Let me
in
tell you
Miami.
something. I tell you the whole thing is all based on those assistant coaches who have those relationships with those players in South Florida. They're going to keep them home, and you wait. In the next couple of years, Miami's going to have that swagger back, and they're going to walk in, smack teams in the mouth like Clemson, Alabama, Georgia.
FSU.
I mean, it's just going to FSU. I mean, you just line up.
Here we go.
Mark my word. Write the date down today that I said that.
I agree with you.
We got it recorded, right?
They're coming back.
Okay, we got it recorded.
August 25th.
Well, I agree they're coming back. I don't know about spanking Georgia
I'm just telling you,
and Alabama.
I'm serious. Give them a couple years. It'll be
All
a
right.
whole different deal at Miami.
All right. All right, Jimmy, let's get our picks.
All right.
He come in here and breaks my heart.
Speaking
about
of getting
Bama.
your checkbook out.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
And renegotiate.
Yeah.
All right. So not too many ball games to pick here in the week 0. So I thought I'd do something a little different here. One of the first games we're going to pick though is Vandy at Hawaii. But before we pick it, this is a rare Power 5 team traveling to a group of 5. You know, this time of year we see it the other way around. So I just pulled these are 10 games where a Power 5 school is going to a group of 5 school to play. They ranked them top 10. Arizona is going to go to San Diego State. They said that the stadium difference is 15,700, smaller venue that Arizona usually playing in by going to San Diego State. So that was number 10. They're playing opening weekend next weekend. Vanderbilt will play at Northern Illinois in a venue 16,000 smaller than their
Vandy's on the road, that one?
Yeah. These are the Power 5 on the road.
Wow.
Vanderbilt at North Carolina. Here's the one I was telling you, Coach. North Carolina at Appalachian State.
That blows my mind, that game.
Mm-hmm.
You know where they are? That's Boone.
Yeah, Boone, North Carolina. Why would North Carolina do that?
Yeah.
They want to go snow skiing.
And then number 7, Louisville.
It's all about the perks.
At UCF. ACC at the American school. So Louisville coming down to Orlando on a Friday night. Wow. Here's one. If you were surprised by...
Well, I could see Louisville doing that because of recruiting.
Orlando visibility.
Yeah, recruiting.
All right, so if you were shocked by App State, North Carolina at Georgia State on September 10th. Yeah.
Maybe you think it's written up wrong?
Nope.
That's crazy, Tommy. So they're going to
Atlanta.
App State and I
State.
guess we're recruiting in Atlanta. I don't know. I don't know. Where's that game going to be played? It's going to be in this.
It's going to be at the old Turner Field.
Field.
That's now converted.
Unbelievable.
Vanderbilt at Hawaii that we'll pick in just a minute. The Hawaii's Ching complex where they're playing only holds 9,000 people. So they're playing in a stadium that only holds 9,000.
What happened to the other stadium they used to play?
The old Aloha Bowl.
Yeah.
They're not using it there. They're
Wow.
playing.
I know it's old and yeah.
Maryland will go to Charlotte. Big Ten at an American school.
Golly.
Pitt at Western Michigan. That's kind of I could see that one possibility. Virginia Tech gets the top 2 slots. Virginia Tech will go to Liberty. And then Virginia Tech will play at Old Dominion. Now,
Old Dominion, unbelievable.
The last time Virginia Tech made that trip, they won. So
wow.
we got 4 quick games. Vandy at Hawaii. Who you got?
I'm last. Who you got?
I'm gonna go with Hawaii. It's a long road trip.
What?
Yep.
Tommy?
I'm going with the Commodores.
I'm going to go Vandy.
Okay. UConn at Utah State. I picked this one earlier. I've got Utah State.
Utah State.
Who are they playing?
UConn.
UConn.
Ooh, I want to go with UConn, but I'm going to go with Utah State.
Yeah. All right. Wyoming making the trip over to Illinois. There's some folks saying Wyoming might pull this off. It's a toss-up to me, but I'm going to go with the power school over the group of 5 and take the Illini.
Remember last year they opened up Nebraska and beat them. I'm going to go, yeah.
I got Illinois.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the last one, speaking of Nebraska coach, Big Ten Conference game, week 0, Nebraska, Scott Frost, all the things around him, making the trip up to Evanston at Northwestern.
Nebraska. No, they're actually in Ireland or somewhere.
Yeah. It's neutral zone.
I'm gonna go Nebraska. He's got to win. His job's on the line. I'm gonna go Nebraska. Do I feel good about it? No. Quit throwing up and start playing.
Nebraska.
I've got Nebraska as well, and that's your week 0, week 1 picks. And
why did you pick Hawaii over Vandy?
Strange things happen. Alabama went out to Hawaii and got beat one year.
Yeah, that's true.
I thought she was going to have North Texas and UTEP.
They get focused on other things when they're Hawaii.
That's true. That's true. I just if they lose this one, and Hawaii's had some good skill players too in the past. You might be a good pick right there for you. All right, we're out. Tommy, Jeremy, thank you so much. We got you next week.
Yep.
All right, tomorrow we got a great show lined up for you. Jason Kovaleski will be here. Jim Bob Brandt, Ryan Movey, and we got a special guest coming in also tomorrow. Afternoon show, the Underdogs. Dave's got a great show lined up for you. And don't forget, we got Fine Bombs 6 to 10. We're out, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Colin Cowherd. Tom Brady dodged a bullet. Gruden was a mess. The O-line's still shaky outside of left tackle. The division's gotten only better. And the AFC, no. That Brady-Belichick divorce is totally different today if Tom goes to the Raiders.
The Herd, weekdays 11 to 2 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
We know that juicy, cheesy, grilled to perfection burger sounds amazing, but it does sound like something is missing. Pepsi, baby. The yin to this burger's yang. Burgers and Pepsi go together like burgers and Pepsi. This perfect blending of flavors makes every bite of lettuce, every sesame seed on the bun, and every sip of that crisp, refreshing, ice-cold cola a journey to Foodtopia. Burgers, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
Is that the sound of an ooey gooey, cheesy, crunchy slice of P-I-Z-Z-A? Obviously. But as good as that sounds, we think it can get even better. Oh yeah, that's the sound of a freshly opened fizz-filled Pepsi. The only thing that can take this flavor medley of crunchy dough, mouth-watering cheese, and savory sauce to the next level. How about another bite? Pepsi and pizza sound like a match made in heaven and taste even better. Pizza, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
Good Thursday morning. Looks like the moisture is going to stick around for a while. Showers and thunderstorms expected today, tonight, and Friday. We'll go with a blend of sun and clouds, mid to upper 80s during the day, mid to upper 70s at night.